Okay, so just to quickly introduce TNT, is a free project for us to practice a foreign language. It's available in French, Spanish, Italian, English, and German. It's a safe space for us to speak and talk to each other, practice. So if you feel anyone is being disrespectful, you can tell me, and I'm going to deal with the situation. Have someone else joining, okay. Just to recap, we are going to continue on last week's topic, and now I'm going to split some of you into breakout rooms so that everybody can have space to talk. Remember, when you go into the small room, you introduce yourselves and pick a leader, and make sure everybody else has a space to speak, okay? Okay, perfect. Just a second, guys. Now I'm going to open the breakout rooms. Okay, so you're going to get an invitation. If you haven't got an invitation, it means you're staying here with me. I usually tend to leave the people who have their cameras open on the main room, just so it's not only me on YouTube showing my face, okay? Okay, guys, if you got an invitation, you can just accept it. Go to your small, okay, perfect. Okay, so I think most of you were here last week. So let's start from a question that we haven't answered yet. Just to remember, you can introduce yourself and then answer the question, okay? I'm going to start with number 4 here. Is there a design in the city you live in, or is it completely chaotic in terms of architecture and city planning? So let me see, Ana Laura.
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Ana Laura. I am 24 years old. I live in São José dos Campos, in the countryside of the state of São Paulo. And I am a biochemical engineer. And I am attending here on TNT meetings since May. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Let me see. So in São José dos Campos, the design, I believe that is completely chaotic. I don't know that if there's a specific design. Since I was born, my mother told me that the city has a boom, expanded a lot, and how can I say, periferias, the extremes of the city expanded a lot.
Yeah, I think it would be like the suburbs.
The suburbs, right? And probably there was not a city planning as well. I don't know. I can't speak for sure, but I believe that there was not. And do you prefer a certain style of architecture? Oh, I believe that I prefer not the modern one that is all squares, you know, just squares. I believe that I prefer more the neoclassical. I don't know. Maybe I like to see, I think that is very beautiful, the how can I say? Sorry guys, I can't remember the word even in Portuguese. Arcos, you know?
Arcs.
Arcs.
Yes.
So that's it. Thank you.
Nice. Okay, let me just see something. Talita, hello? Are you there? Okay, because she was in the breakout room. Not sure what happened. I'm going to move it to main session. Okay. So, sorry guys, I was checking something. So, Michelle, what about you?
I think there's a mix of functionality and appearance, but I think the people looking and try to think more about the appearance than the functionality. Because if we, it's a vision that I have, but if we look at the nature, we can see a lot of things that didn't need to change. We needed to understand the way the things are going, I guess, to try to change. Because now we need to plant more trees to have a better life, to have a balance because of pollution. So why we arrived in this moment that we needed to organize the style of life and style of products that we have. Because years ago, or séculos, before, centuries, some people decide to change it and make things saying that we were an evolution, but it wasn't true. So I think the chaos happened because we don't really understand the world we live, the nature of functionalities of the nature in our lives. Sometimes we don't need to produce anything. Nothing.
Wow, that was a good point of view. You took it to another place. I wasn't expecting it. And when you think about it, I think I agree with you. When I think about like the way we have a lot of floods and certain problems in the cities we live in, it's totally because we didn't understand nature. We didn't respect the composition that was already there when we arrived. So people just built in the margins of rivers and they took the vegetation out and all of that, and had a very strong impact on the environment and the wildlife. And then it just comes back to us, like it eventually hurts us too. So it's a very interesting point of view. Tatiana, what do you think?
I think that on Porto there is a balance between the nature and the buildings or architecture, but I think that the streets are not prepared for cars, in my opinion, because some streets here are prepared only for horses or something like this, because the streets are totally, how do you say, estreito? Narrow. So it's difficult to conduce or to drive into Porto because your streets are a problem for me. the city increase a lot, but the streets, the structure for streets not so good. It's not follow the evolution.
Mm-hmm. What about the pavement there? You know, the pavement? Oh, got it?
Yeah.
Is it like in those historical cities here in Brazil, like Paraty and all that? Because these cities, they have a lot of influence from the Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
Colonizers. So
Yes, totally.
Does it look like?
Yeah, Porto, yes, and some small cities too, like Guimarães, like Braga. There is historical places that remember some cities on Brazil.
Brazil, interesting.
Yes.
Do you think that is functional? That sort of pavement, like
the rocks used in the pavements are in the end.
at the end.
At the
end.
end.
They're being removed. You mean?
The material used in the pavements are in the end.
Okay.
Because a lot of hard work to prepare these pavements with different colors, like in Copacabana Beach. I understand that you ask. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I was just
Explain
wondering.
For me what is the pavement.
No, it's because when I think a lot about this pavement. No, it's because when I go to cities like that, like Ouro Preto and Paraty, I think it's pretty the way it looks, but I don't think it's that functional because when you walk on it, it's really difficult, you know?
Yes.
And you usually
and
have
dangerous too.
Yes, that's why I asked you, like, do you think this is functional? I think it would maybe it was functional in the time when it was created, maybe because of the type of transportation they had, you know, with horses and stuff. Maybe it was for that. But what I think of now is it's just the looks. Like it isn't really that functional.
Not functional, totally.
Yeah. It is Danielle. Hello. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
It is. No, it is. Okay, Annie? So, was that a problem in your room? It is.
Hi.
Hi.
I think they didn't accept it, no?
Yeah, maybe they didn't accept
They didn't
it.
accept it, so back to our room.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I think we can, for a matter of time, I think we can keep you guys here today because I'm not even sure how to invite you again. So, okay, Iris, if you want to answer the question, you can.
What is the question? I'm lost.
Is there
here.
sorry there. Is there a design in the city you live in, or is it completely chaotic?
I guess it is completely chaotic. So I live in a small town, very, very small. And here don't have architecture, so it's a chaos.
Chaos,
And
okay.
yes, guys, these questions are a little difficult to me. I can listen very well, but speak is not my strong, and I will listen more than speak. Okay.
No problem. But you did well, okay? Don't worry.
Thank you.
Jefferson, what about your city?
I live in Goiânia. It's a planet city. It's really a new city. 87 years. We have here Art Deco for what's happened here. Just a moment. Okay. It's invite me to skip. I don't know what's happened today. Okay. It's a planned city, as I said. We have Art Deco. It's very beautiful with old houses and old buildings in downtown. And you will have a very modern blocks, modern buildings too. It's very modern. And it's not chaotic. It's not chaotic here in Goiânia. But sometimes we can see in downtown the old paints in the building. That's not good. I think must be rebuilt. Must be
restored.
Restored, yeah. Restored. Yeah. Restored.
Talit, are you there? Okay, I think Talit isn't there. Lee, hello.
Hello.
Hello. What about you? What about your
Yes.
city?
Yeah. My city is very straight. Yeah, it's amazing because many people are building a small one, but it's amazing.
Okay. So guys, let me see here. My second question inside this question would be, do you think city planning and design is important? So Lee, do you think it's important to plan a city before building it?
Yes, I think so. Because you have the place where I'm going to build your house can be straight, not having some, let's say something like, I don't know exactly in English, yeah, but can be straight. Yeah, and to prepare to see to have a all conditional. Yes, for example, it can have water, everything that the planet can be straight. Yes.
Okay. Michelle, what about you? What do you think?
I think it's so important to plan before do something, because we need to prepare, and sometimes we have ideas that life can be, but the theory is different of the practice. So when we idealize something, we don't know what the points can connect and what the points can make bad things. And that's the reason why I think we have a lot of problems, because some people only think, oh, I have an idea, and I think it's good to have a lot of houses in this place, and forget the other aspects to make this kind of things, or in simple things in our relationships. We decided to behave in a way that others don't understand exactly what we want to say or do. And some conflicts happen in these situations. One is so important.
Interesting. Guys, if you want to comment each other's answers, you can. Okay. So does anybody agree or disagree? Yeah.
I think it is important to have zones in the city when you plan the city. For example, residential zones, industrial zones, and commercial zones. It's better to live because you can have, for example, a pickup or rush hour in the city. You have more facility, more way of transportation, better transportation with good trees, plants, lake, and a lot of things. So I think it's very important to plan the city, because most of the cities in Brazil are not planned. It's terrible.
Yes. Ana Laura, what do you think?
So I totally agree with Michelle just said. In everything is important. In everything you would do, it's important to planning first, right? And this to build a city, it's not different. And if you just, oh, I find this place and you don't study the soil and you don't see the arounds on this environment, probably you don't would be prepared to do the right thing, right? And that can lead to future difficulties, like you said before, Julia, floods, landslides, etc.
Yes, totally. I agree too. Tatiana, what do you think?
I think that is important to plan, but sometimes we don't, you can't prever, how do you say prever? I don't know.
Foresee.
Foresee the growth of population. So in this case, the cause comes because the size of population and your growth. So when you plan a city or a neighbor or a zone, for example, you need to force the size of people or population or a group that use this zone, for example, because the traffic grow up because the quantity of cars, for example, and you need to map some risks for zones, for residential places too, because the problem with this is building houses and builds in risk zones, for example. And I think that plan is important, but to prevent some future risks is important too. To prepare your city to growth, to improve population.
Okay. Edis, do you want to speak about this question, or you're good? Edis?
I'm good.
Okay. No problem. So yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you guys to finish this little topic about architecture is something to do with that other question we answered in the other meeting we had. That do you think there is a balance between functionality and appearance in architecture? Because one thing that I see a lot is a total lack of the worry about aesthetics. Like people don't have and then all of the buildings just look like boxes, and I think that has an impact in our lives, like this lack of creativity. What do you think, Michelle? What do you think?
I think it's kind of things is changing, because I have a contact with some architectures that are studying more about the neuroscience, understand more our the human being understanding and feelings when they plan or construct something. I think this kind of things are changing, but we had a lot of constructions that don't have a meaning for us and didn't give us or transmit feelings, things that make us to be part of this environment. For example, during time you were talking, I was thinking about Monaco in France. The aspect of the city, they construct and plan the color of the city. And where you go, you will see this kind of color of mayol in all party of the city. You can't, you will not see graffitis there, because there is a plan in these things. And I have been there, and I think we can feel different things, not only because that place is no conhecido?
Sorry?
Conhecido. The place known, it's so simple, but I forgot now. Known as a rich place, but it's not only it. The constructions, the painting, the behaviors, everything's make people go in this line.
Okay, they
influence them, exactly.
They influence people's behavior.
Yeah, but we don't have this kind of things here. People don't understand how important it is to see all as a community, independent of social classes. And I think we, for example, in Brazil, we don't look at each other as Brazilians. The chaos happened because people always think, oh, you're black, I'm white. So it's not correct, because we don't have a lot of people black and white. We are mixed. So we are Brazilians, and we don't realize and don't understand what is our culture, what is everybody together. And this kind of things connect the questions we are doing here, because some architectures only follow the European
style
and forget the others. We don't have a mix. We don't understand ourselves sometimes.
Wow, Michelle always takes it to another. Oh, yeah. But I mean, I agree with you in some points there, that I think the lack of a community sense has a huge impact on architecture. And I see that by the way we build fences. You know, we like there are some housing or residential parts of some cities that I know, there are full of huge fences, and everyone is like building their own universe in their houses there. Like they don't want to communicate with people. And the parts of the city that are dedicated to community living, like parks and squares, they aren't really valued, and they aren't really maintained, you know. So the grass is really high and people don't seem to care that much about it. Like there's dog poo all around. So it's like I think when I see these things, like when I see these houses with huge fences, I think it reflects, like it's design reflecting the way we see ourselves as a community. Like each person in their own block, you know, each person in their own little universe, and not is in communicating with each other. So what do you guys think? You want to comment on that? Anyone?
Why, if you live in a condo, no problem. For example, I live in a condo that we have fence and hedge. You know hedge? Fence with grass.
Oh, okay.
Hedge. A lot of hedge. I know a lot of countries, for example, that we have this kind of thing. You can see some cities in China, Shenzhen, Guangzhou. You can see in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is very beautiful. You see this kind of thing. And you have a lot of cities in Europe too. But think about Brazil. I'm worried about Brazil. Where I live, I have a lot of no functionality. because the downtown, you have a lot of places to park. It's okay. But the other side of my city, in Goiânia, you have modern buildings. You have no place to park. It's terrible to park. No parking lots and narrow streets. So no functionality. The buildings are very beautiful, modern buildings, but functionality, it's very beautiful. Sometimes it's terrible. And you have sometimes too a lot of restaurants and bars, and you can park. It's terrible. It's beautiful restaurants and bars, but you can stop your car, you can park your car.
But you can't park because there are many cars there already?
Many cars, full of cars.
Okay. Because I think
Goiânia
one of the other problems we have in our cities is that it's mainly built for cars instead of like public transportation and motivating people to bike to work or things like that. Like it's all about cars, and I think that's a problem too.
Yeah, it's different. For example, in Hanover, I know Hanover. It's very, very good because you can, if you have a car, okay. If you have no car, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good transportation system. It's a
Yes,
small
that's what I
city,
like.
6,000 inhabitants. It's very good, the way you can go to a restaurant, to university, for a lot of things, by trains, by metro, but you can't drive your car. I think it's the same in Amsterdam, but we need to think about Brazil. Brazil is terrible.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yes, we have a lot of problems here, but that it comes from the fact that some of the girls commented like we had fast growth in population, and it just contributed to the chaotic structure. Anli, what do you want to say something? You want to comment? Anli? Hello, are you there? Anli? Iman? Okay, I think he doesn't want to say something. So my 10th question would be, have you ever designed something in your life? I know some people have actually done the projects of their own houses. Like I know, I don't know if you guys are one of them. But if you haven't, like, have you ever created a design for something, Tatiana?
Only screens for the customer. Design for the screens in the systems. For example, I work with a specific system called FAPI, and end users use this system to execute your activities inside the company. So it's important to think about some aspects that make easier for the end user use some functionality or some system. So only design, I only create designs or thinking about design when I create some pages or some screens for the customers or users.
Interesting. Ana Laura, what about you?
Oh, I was trying to think about it right now. Oh, in this pandemic, I started to improve my skills on image editing, and I start to do volunteer work as a graphical designer in a non-governmental organization, and I believe that this type of design that I already did in my life, not something just huge, or that has a big impact. I don't know. Maybe just things like this, image editing and trying to create some arts to promote these non-governmental organization activities.
Nice, nice. So you do like promotional artwork?
Yep.
Cool. Michelle, what about you?
I think it's interesting what Anna said, because people always think in a rush think when we talk about design, but design is a little decisions that we have, little problems we can solve. Everybody has this kind of a ability, and I'm a crocheter, and
I love it. I love it.
I design ideas, I design grades, and the wall, it's my
I was
work
going
too.
to ask you about the wall. Is it crochet?
No, it's painting.
Okay.
I like to work in patterns, and I have a store, online store, that I sell stamps with my style.
Cool. So did you hand painted it?
Yes.
Cool. Really nice. Is it like flowers? It's because it's a little bit far. Is it like flowers?
I will send the link of my Instagram if someone wants to see, and I have a lot of things there. It's better because I can't.
Yeah, you can zoom in, but yeah, I found it very interesting. It looks like veins. I like it, or rivers. Like river patterns.
I like to say that as a line that take me in several ways, and I always work in lines because I can transform or discover things when I follow the line. I can make art and I can discover truths.
Really cool. Jefferson, have you ever designed something?
No, I just design ideas because I'm a professor. I'm a professor in undergraduate school, undergraduate university, and master degree. You have a master about planning, about cities. For example, I'm economist, but I work with architects. All the time we're talking about the regions of Brazil, the cities of Brazil, about the smart city, intelligent city. We're talking all the time about this kind of things. So I think all the time we design ideas, to discuss ideas. What is the best way to live in a city? It's better a smart, intelligent city or an old city? That's a good question.
What would be a smart city? Like, I know it might be a complex concept, but if you can sum it up.
I love. I have been in a lot of smart cities. For example, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Amsterdam, Barcelona.
But what makes it a smart city? What makes it a smart city?
A smart city?
Yeah, what is a smart city?
Well, smart city for me is a city that you can live well in all kinds of things. Good restaurants, good way to move, good way to drive, good way to rest, good lakes, a lot of trees. This is concept of smart city today. Because you must use the intelligence, you must use the internet, you must use the cameras, you must use a lot of things, gadgets, no? A lot of gadgets to be a better life.
Ali, have you ever designed something?
Yes, because I'm always learning many things because I'm carpenter. And, I can design something new so people they can buy it and they can like. And I'm thinking design my own house, like it will make difference for my street.
You designed your own house?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, I'm thinking design it can be different and be good. Then other house because here many people don't say kind of house, but mine can be different. It can be expensive like that because I have to give much money. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to have this kind of dream.
Mm. But
Imai,
I
do
think
you live in Nigeria? Where do you live in?
In Mozambique.
Mozambique. Yeah, I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends there.
Yes.
we get a lot of
Mozambique.
people here from Mozambique.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the thing about design is also to use whatever the resources you have and make the most out of it. Do you guys know this expression, to make the most of it? So even if you don't have a lot of resources, you can still make something that is functional and also has pretty features and all that. I like this one architectural project that was done for this woman in the suburbs, and she had a house that was like falling apart, and it wasn't like a big terrain, and there was this these architectures that planned the house to fit her budget, which was like the savings from her whole life. You know, she worked as a maid, and she had saved through her whole life, and she spent all I don't know if it was everything, but she spent a huge part of that in the house. And they totally like respected the amount of space they had, and they just, as I said, like make the most out of it. And also they thought about the way she lived, because she really liked plants and she wanted to have a garden. So they like built a garden in the middle of the house, and there are like windows everywhere, so everything is really well lit, and there's like a place for her to water her plants on the second floor. Like, it's super cool. And it's I think it's a very good example of what architecture should be about, which is like serving each person's individual needs when it comes to their houses, you know. And I think one problem we have is that architecture is considered to be a luxury and an inaccessible thing that only a few people have the right to. And it's more something about like building very fancy and showing off. And it shouldn't be like that, you know? What do you guys think? Anyone? Come on.
I saw you have a lot of buildings in the house. I remember now in Japan, you have meatpacking in New York with this kind of thing you're telling. And I have some buildings in houses in Brazil with this kind of thing. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The way you describe, no? I remember now.
Yes. So Tatiana, what do you think? I have to pick people because they will speak.
Nowadays, you find in big cities compact apartment with a lot of functionalities. I forget the name. Furnitures and functional furnitures that you hold, that you use, and after that you keep in a box, for example.
You like fold them, you know?
Yeah, flip fold, yes. Tables, beds, and a lot of furnitures that that you build for a small spaces or for small places. I think this is incredible because today is difficult. You pay or you buy an apartment, for example, a big apartment. So it is normal today. You in a big cities, you find small places. So because of this, you need to find out smart furnitures or functional furnitures for your special apartment, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, guys, just a moment because I'm going to close the breakout rooms. Yeah. Okay. So they will be coming back soon. I really like small apartments. I like those ones that are really open, you know, and there's like not that many different rooms, because I think the thing about having a small space is that you need to have the least amount of walls possible, because then it looks much wider and bigger than it is, you know. And from my experience getting inside certain buildings, I think that architecture from like the 70s and the 80s and 60s, they respected this idea more, because the buildings that are more recent, I think they have way more like compartments in it, like many rooms and things like that, and it makes it very claustrophobic. There is this one building in BH that is, I think they call it JK, or yeah, I'm not quite sure now. É uma referência vestida no Kubitschek, mas eu não tenho certeza se eles chamam de prédio de JK, alguma coisa assim. I think that it was designed by Niemeyer, and I had like this cousin who lived there, and it's kind of small, the single apartments, but it's really open, and you have windows, really huge windows on both sides. So it totally looks like it's a big room, and you have a lot of space, and you can really breathe inside, you know. I think it's really interesting how you can make the most of a small space. So Kuzaya, hello, how was the conversation in your room?
It was amazing. I like it a lot, talking to Rosalia and Elasman. I could learn a lot about this topic. And when I go shopping, I will try to buy less things, only the things I need.
Okay. So let me ask you something. The last question. Have you ever designed something in your life?
Not yet. Maybe in the future I can try it.
Okay, cool. Rosalia, what about you? Did you enjoy the conversation?
A lot, enjoy a lot, because Kuzai and Losman is a great person, and you have a great conversation. And this talk is amazing. You can talk more about this, about the picture, about the tiles, and you buy something only about the tiles. You can be frustrated when you receive this product. And I think it's more important to think more about this principle when you are buy. Think that you don't need this, and you buy something about the tiles, about box. I don't know. It's a great conversation. Thank you.
And what about you, Rosalia? Have you ever designed something in your life?
Nowadays, I think no, but in future, maybe.
Okay. So, guys, does anybody else want to add something to the topic? Any comments? Nope. Okay. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Michelle, did you post your Instagram? I want your Instagram, girl.
Oh, just a moment. I
Put it
don't
here in the
see.
comments so we can follow you.
Michelle, you must monetize to earn money with your products.
Yeah.
Sell the product, monetize.
Jefferson is all about the economy here.
Yeah, just think
And
about money. Make
I
money
like him.
Money.
to survive.
I'm sending the link on Instagram and my online store because I like the Jefferson ideas. I follow.
Oh,
I need
yeah.
to talk with him to understand more because I know that he has a lot of information that could be good for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You guys should talk to each other, some advising. Okay, guys. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your work with us. And thank you, everybody, for joining. Remember to follow E Aprendi on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, that's it, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, guys.